I'm in Oak Park on a very beautiful day at a house built in 1902. This is the seller, Gary Myers, and his agent, Patsy Bonniwell, who are going to show us through the house. But Gary, first we want to talk about your tenure in the house. You got here 20-something years ago.
1983. Right.
And what was the condition of the house then?
It was sound, but needed a good amount of reworking, a lot of redecorating, a lot of renovating. Driveway was a test track for General Motors.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it was concrete and it was so broken up you hated driving on it.
Oh, geez. And we'll see. You've made the driveway into not only an attractive thing, but a living space.
Well, we did. We made it a brick driveway that wraps around the back into a patio. So
we'll take a look at that, but first I'd like to go inside because you've also done quite a bit of work in here. So the exterior didn't impress you much, but it looks to me as if the interior had a lot going for it.
Oh, it did. One of the big things that captured my wife up was the stained glass windows in the stairway. It set the stage for her to really be open to the rest of the house. And
then it's hard for me to get on camera. Here we go. But you added something, a period detail, but you added it. What is this on the walls?
We refinished the entire foyer with what's called Lincrusta, which is a linoleum product that was popular in the 1870s and 80s.
So Patsy, you mentioned these rooms have been staged.
Right.
There's a series of 3 here. There are more, but there are 3 in a row here, and they're used differently than they might be while staged. Tell me how I would lay these rooms out.
Okay, well this is the traditional double parlor that's typical of a Victorian.
And enormous.
And enormous, yes. And with really tall ceilings. And the room beyond it is actually the formal dining room.
That's through those doors?
And there are pocket doors there that can close that room off. And then there's a room to the right that was originally the library. And we have, it is now staged as the dining room, just to kind of point out the flexibility in the floor plan.
So what we have here essentially is 4 rooms in essentially an L shape, and I can reassign them in some other way.
However it works for you, but there's clearly enough space for a first floor family room.
Now when you come from those other rooms into what was the dining room, we've got the other set of pocket doors, right?
Pocket doors.
There's a larger single pocket door here.
Oh, not a set, right. And it's hard for me to believe that they're in this kind of condition 100 and something years after their birth.
Yep.
And you haven't had to mess with them. That's terrific.
Not a thing.
Why do you think they would be in such good shape?
I believe it's because the house is so soundly constructed. It's solid masonry, 3 layers thick, and just been solid since the day we moved in.
So there's just no settling that would have knocked them off their tracks.
Nothing.
That's great. Which would also apply to some of this beautiful glass you've got.
Yes, correct.
Rather than folding or rippling, it looks as if it was just put in yesterday.
And that's original.
That's
terrific.
terrific.
The house was built.
We'll see glass upstairs, I think, that you added, but this,
correct,
of course, is original. The kitchen, I think you said, predates you, right? This was put in before you got here in '83?
That's correct. It was put in, it was redone by the people we bought the house from, probably in the mid to late 70s.
So what you've got is sort of an intimate kitchen, an eat-in kitchen, but we also have all this storage behind you in the butler's pantry, behind me in 2 flanks of the porch.
That's correct, right. We added the storage area out in the back porch and heated and cooled it so it can be a 12-month room and be a part of the kitchen for that storage and for outdoor equipment.
Oh, that's great. But again, we still were able to eat in the kitchen.
Oh, yes, it's an eat-in kitchen.
Oh, that's great. And why don't we take a look upstairs? So you're coming through one of the features I love. They kept the heat trapping doors, right? They keep the 2 floors with their own climates.
Yes.
Which would have worked when it was an old house. Now it's really just a nice touch.
Right.
Because you've reworked the heat and air conditioning. We've got space pack ports here in this room. You've completely changed the way the house is heated and cooled. Before we go out to the part of the suite that is behind me, let's talk a little bit about these closets. You added them, right?
Yes, we put the closets in. They took up about 2 feet of the bedroom area, but they allowed us a lot more. They allowed my wife more storage. They didn't allow me any more storage. They allowed my wife more storage.
But you were able to give up that space because you had this,
That's correct. We broke out a wall that was here that went out onto what it was a summer porch room and made it part of the whole bedroom. And we actually had our bed out here and slept out here.
And then I believe you told me that this transom glass above is new.
Yeah, we had those transom glass pieces made to bring in a better light arrangement. It's really pretty at night.
Yeah? And that goes along with this glass, also in addition, right? We saw some original glass downstairs, but you've got new art glass.
Yeah, the same person that did our transom windows did the one you're looking at.
Oh, that's terrific. And then into the bathroom, we mentioned the suite. We've got a bathroom, and one of the great touches is this glass you had done. You had this glass done for this room?
We actually, that glass was hanging out on the back deck when we bought the house. We took it out of there. I had it reframed to fit that window, and we installed it in the window.
Wow. But again, Patsy, Victorian house, master bath, attached to the master bedroom, right? Pretty unusual?
Yeah, it's very unusual. So we've got both the sitting area, a sleeping area, an attached bath, and 3 great closets.
Nice big suite. And then 3 bedrooms down this way.
Yes.
Correct.
But it's awfully big.
This was our daughter's bedroom.
This is really big for a Victorian bedroom.
It's huge for a Victorian bedroom.
I mean, this could be 2 rooms in some houses.
Easily, yeah.
Wow. And up here we have some original glass. And then you created a bath at the end of the hall, I think.
That's correct. There was a smaller bath here, and we enlarged it. We took space out of a hallway and made it into this, and made it and the original bathroom into this room.
Oh, so was it a tiny little bathroom before?
It was not tiny, but it was not near the size it is.
Yeah?
And brought the tub up with a crane through the back window.
Did you really?
Yes.
Jacuzzi tub. This is great. It's got a vintage feel, but it's a nice jacuzzi tub. And then here we have steam shower, I believe?
It's a regular shower. Just
Regular?
A shower, yeah.
So here we come to, this is an enormous attic, or a 3rd floor. I guess it was an attic when you got here.
It was an attic space.
There is so much room up here, and so much light. The ceilings are, what did you tell
12
me?
foot at the top, yeah.
Wow. You did all this. This was...
Yes, we had this all done. It was, when we bought the house, it was strictly just a plywood floor, and the rafters were showing for the roof and the walls, and we finished it all up.
Wow. Put in these great windows.
Yeah, new windows.
Lots of light, and I guess you would have added these closets then.
That's correct.
Now, here behind the house, we've looked at so much space indoors, it's hard to believe you have more living space outdoors, but I think you have created this. Is this right, Gary?
Yes, we did. This is, I guess, our favorite room in or outside the house.
Really? We've got room to sit, to dine, and then at the end of the driveway, we've got the coach house, which I believe is rented.
That's correct.
2-bedroom apartment?
One bedroom.
1 bedroom.
Yeah. Great. And then you've got the backyard. It just goes on and on. Let's go out to the backyard and take a look.
Until we get to the back lot line, yeah.
Who built the pond?
That was done by a company that Pesci's introduced us to, and I don't remember their name. They did that, I think, 10 years ago now, 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Now, I've been keeping the camera down because we've got to get to the real surprise back here.
Okay.
Tell me about this.
Well, this particular painting, we had the 2 paintings you're going to be looking at were done at our house in Chicago, put on the sides of the garage.
This was on the side of your garage.
It was, yeah.
You know, a lot of people just have aluminum siding.
I know. Yes. And we brought them with us. And this one is, I believe, Morning Lark, a copy of Morning Lark. They both were done by 2 graduate students from the Art Institute who were from Bangladesh, a husband and wife.
Oh, wow.
And it was really fun to watch on the larger painting.
And the larger painting, which we're now finally seeing.
That one they hung sheets out from it like a roof so they wouldn't have to be in the sun while they were painting it. It's a replica of Sunday Afternoon on the Isle of Grand Jet.
So you moved this here from your home in Portage Park 20-something years ago, and now it stays with the house?
It stays with the house when we sell it.
That is wonderful. It's really rare to get a house that comes with art, but art in the backyard over the alley especially.
Yes.
That's terrific. And then I know we've taken a look here. You have 2 versions of Sunday on the Island, right?
The other one was one we did later, probably 20 years ago, and one of our neighbors was a director for the artists or for the art teachers at the local grade school district, and so she handled this project. We had 8 or 9 of the kids that were 5 to 8 years old who would go back and look at the picture that behind us, that was when we originally had painted, and come running up here to this wall to paint it back on this wall.
Oh, that's great. So we've got 2 Sundays on 2 islands.
Sundays, yes.
Oh, that's great.